Hi, this is Ariane from La Fille de la Mer Handmade Soap Shop in the Magdalen Islands, Quebec, Canada. Today I will be making an emulsified sugar scrub. I'm really new at this. I've just made one batch so far. Let me show you. So here's my one of the jars that I made. It's with lavender. It's really thick, but it's smooth enough that you can put your hand in it, take it out, and rub it on. I did post on Facebook about this, asking how do you make an emulsified sugar scrub, and 3 different people wrote me back. One gave me a link to Soapalooza's emulsified sugar scrub. I will put the link below. So I started off with this recipe but tweaked it a bit to make it my own. So what's in my sugar scrub? Well, the secret ingredients is probably the emulsifying wax. I'm using polo wax. I'm using also stearic acid, beeswax, coconut oil, rice bran oil, camellia sinensis, and almond oils. And then I will be adding fragrance oil and preservative, because presumably, even if this is not, there's no water content in here, it will go in the shower. Water may get into it, so that's why there's preservative, and I chose to use liquid Dermal Plus. Let's make an emulsified sugar scrub. I have told you about the beeswax that I use. It's locally made. We have a beekeeper around here, and I just got some of his beeswax recently. This stuff is amazing. If there's a beekeeper in your area, I would go like 100% full speed, go get it. Of course, it's easier to buy the granules. This one you kind of have to break it down, but it's pretty easy. My camera's not on the right side. Let me just switch it. Okay, so I just take a sharp knife, watch out for those fingers, and I just scrape down, and then it gives me like beeswax swirls. And for this recipe, I'm using 2 ounces of beeswax. And I always like to add local ingredients to my recipes, whether they are soap or body butters or scrubs or whatever, lip balms. This is great in lip balm. I love it. Now let's add the stearic acid. So my recipe calls for 3 ounces. Little itsy bitsy pieces of beeswax stayed on the counter. Okay. And some polo wax. Any other self-emulsifying e-wax will do. So this is 4 ounces. Oops. A little too much. Now take this pot, you can melt it on a double boiler, and then when all the wax is melted, bring it back and we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so while the good stuff is melting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sterilize and clean out my jars. As I said before, there's no water in this recipe, but water can get into it, so rubbing alcohol, and that's what I'm going to do. I take a microfiber that I squirt with alcohol, and voila! Clean out these little jars. Those are 8-ounce jars, but by weight, there's 9.25 ounces that fits of this emulsified sugar scrub. Those are the ones that I did previously this week. Voila! this recipe calls for 6 ounces of coconut oil. So let's prepare it while the rest is still melting. There we go. Okay, so my coconut oil is melted right here, and so is my wax mix. Let me show you. Can you see? Yeah, well, anyways, you'll see better now. So I'm just going to be adding this to the coconut oil. I could have mixed all of that in my metal bowl, but I wanted you to see, so I took my glass bowl to do that. Okay, there we go. It hardened on the side, so I'm going to put this back in the microwave for a couple seconds and be right back. I'll show you the type of sugar I use. I usually buy this organic golden sugar, granulated sugar. I buy it in bags of 25 kilos. Usually I'll buy a bag and take half of it for my home, cook with it. It makes delicious everything. And the other half I bring down to my workshop to soap with, or not soap, but make products with. It is sometimes a little clumpy, so with clean hands, just make sure before you put it into your scrub, you remove all the clumps. Alright, this doesn't feel clumpy anymore. Okay, so this sugar scrub will be made using caramelized crimson pear fragrance oil. This is my new favorite. It smells just so good. I could drink it out of the bottle if it weren't fragrance. It smells heavenly. If you like sweet, pastry, fruity kind of smell, this is such a great smell. But anyways, we're not going to be using this now. So I'm going to put 5 grams of vanilla specks. This will just give some interest to the color of the sugar scrub. Adding the vanilla specks to the sugar will allow an even dispersion when I add the sugar to my oil wax mixture. Back in ounce mode. We'll start with the rice bran oil. Yep, that's 7.25 ounce for my recipe. Feel free to tweak it. Then I'm using Camellia sinensis. That's 5.25 ounces. Camellia sinensis is said to be a dry oil, so that's why I'm using it, so it doesn't stay too greasy and oily on the skin. Oops, there we go. And sweet almond oil, just cause it's such a great, lovely oil. And that's 12.5 ounces. I'll write that down below. Choop. Choop. There. Okay. Now I can remove this, I guess. And you see that it gets kind of lumpy, chunky looking. What I do is I use my stick blender. Maybe we should put the fragrance oil in first. Okay, so my recipe calls for 3 ounces of fragrance oil or essential oils. Boop. Okay, so when using Liquid Dermal Plus, you should know that it should not be added to a product if the product is above 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. this will burn off the preservative, and it's like if you didn't add any. So my recipe calls for 25 grams of liquid Germoplast. Oops, there we go. 22, 23, 24, 25, yay! Okay, we're done. Now stick blend. And you may ask me, how does liquid Germoplast blend in this oil mixture? Well, there's polo wax in there, so pretty much it gets emulsified. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more of the yellow mica. Because I want this to look sunny and bright. Okay, so all there's left to do now is to add the sugar. I don't stick blend the sugar in, I just hand whisk it in or hand stir it in. I'm just gonna take this out. Ugh. If you stick blend your sugar in, you may end up with powdered sugar in your scrub instead of a granular textured sugar. Now let's go pour this into the molds. I mean, into the jars. Okay, all done. What I like to do when I make new products is, of course, to test them. And there's a little bit left over in the bowl, and I didn't scrape it all out because I knew I'd be using on myself. So I'll wash the dishes and give a nice sugar scrub to my arms at the same time, I guess. So. Okay, so check this out. When you put water onto it, it kind of turns into a lotion. It's really a great feeling. Too hot. I'm gonna smell so good. Ciao, see you later. It smells so good. I whipped up another batch, or not whipped up, but stirred up another batch. This is strawberry champagne, and I'm gonna pour in just a few seconds. I thought I'd show you. I kind of got motivated, and after doing the caramelized crimson pears, I did this one, which is a mix of cucumber, fragrance oil, and spearmint essential oil. It smells really nice, clean and fresh, and so yeah, that's just a little extra I thought I'd show you.